Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone. Today we're on one of those days that we're gonna tear down another 1.8T. Now, what's special about this 1.8T? It's not much, just a typical 1.8, but it's a friend's 1.8, and that's what makes it special. This is a good friend of mine by the name of Stephen Way. And what's going on is that his engine seized up. Now, unfortunately for him, it's his only car that he uses to get to work, and he didn't want to pay he wanted to get rid of the car because it costs a pretty penny to do this. No, Johnny, you do not need to pull the engine. You can actually do it right out of the car. You can do it right in the engine bay. It's not hard, but you will have to take out the turbo. And in all honesty, it's easier to pull the engine. This only took us 3 hours to pull. So, but I've done it a million times. But wanted to give you guys I have another good working 1.8T that I'm using for my Mark II. And, my wife has a working car already, and this guy needs a car for work. So I told him that I will help him, and I'll give him my engine. So I sold him my engine as cheap as possible that works. And I'm kind of left now waiting longer now to finish the Mark II. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. It's for a good cause, and it's for someone who needs a car. So I'm tearing this whole engine down, and I'm going to swap it with my my running good 1.8 and have him. I'm doing the whole swap, and then I'm going to take care of him pretty much. So it sucks because he rides a motorcycle to work, but he rides it in the snow. I mean, not in the snow, in the rain and cold. So I feel not obligated, but I need to take care of him, and I told him I will. So I gave him my super clean 1.8 that I just painted and everything. So he's going to get that going. So let me read your guys' questions tonight. For Mac Harper, watch all your videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Mac. Appreciate that. For Ian Cook, how do I download all your videos on your MK2? That one's actually a really good one. Good question. I recommend there's an app called Videoed. Videoed is a great app that you can use to download all your videos from YouTube. So that's one way. I am actually considering putting all my YouTube videos onto maybe a Dropbox or something that you guys can just access them and download whatever you guys want. But that's not free, so I have to figure out how I would do that. I took my son to the park when he got home and found his goldfish dead, which is a hard situation for parent. How do I explain? I don't know. I don't know that question. I'm not even going to bother answering it. For Johnny, for Johnny, dude, and honestly, pull the engine. It's so much easier to pull the engine and work on it. As you can see, I have everything here in front of me. Put it all back together, and you just got to line it up and bolt on your downpipe, and you're done. It's so much easier. You don't understand it, and that way you can replace any other gaskets that need to be replaced, because you're going to need to replace all of the gaskets on the intake manifold. I would recommend doing servicing on the injectors, so putting new O-rings, all new bolts on the exhaust manifold, and also your oil and coolant lines on the turbo will be a godsend if you pull the engine. You're just right there, and you do it a lot easier. You don't understand how hard it is to do this work with the engine in the car. It's very hard, so I don't recommend it. For Kevin Kern, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoy all my videos that I do on Mark IVs. And for a twin turbo MK4 GTI, are you talking about a 1.8T or a VR6? Kevin, give me a little more details. Okay, while you guys answer that, I'm gonna be right back and get some tools. For Ananara Marquez, what question? I'm sorry, I thought I answered everybody's question. Hold on, let me see here. Oh, sorry. For your question, hi, bro. Can I put one automatic gas pedal 2003 on my 2000? Is your question? Are you trying to put? I don't understand your question. It's kind of difficult. Can I put one automatic gas pedal 2003 on my 2005 GLI? Man, do you want to put like the engine? Do you want to swap the engine from the 2003 over to the 2005? And I don't know. Ian, I'm super glad I was able to help you, buddy. Super glad. You understand how good it feels when I hear that my videos help people. And yeah, I mean, the engine's the same. It doesn't matter if it's automatic or manual. If you're just trying to move the engine from the 2003 to the 2005, they're identical. They don't make a difference. They're AWP anywhere from late 2002 all the way to 2005. So the engine itself and all the connections are identical. I recommend, though, when you swap the engine over, use all the stuff from the manual transmission side on your other engine, because you're going to have some coolant lines that will be different, just so you know. All right, so first things first, fuel injectors have to come out. Oh yeah, the VR6. I didn't have space and I didn't have money. I was trying to see if you guys wanted to help me out with some money. I couldn't get the car. If I could have got enough donations for that car, because I wasn't going to keep that car. My wife doesn't like Jettas, and I don't want a VR6, but I wanted to do a manual swap. So I just wanted to see if you guys wanted to help me out and fund it, and then I would have just gave it away afterwards. I wasn't trying to keep the car, Johnny. I know it sucks, but sorry. For Mac Harper, can you just type in the question again? I'll read it for you right now, or rephrase it. Right now, what I'm doing is actually pulling the fuel injector lines. We're using, what is this? 5mm Allen. Now I'm going to show you guys a cool little trick when you guys use Oh, I'm glad, Gabriel. I'm very glad that I was able to inspire you. Now, if you guys use regular Allen wrenches like I do, use a deep socket, something that's around like the 10 millimeter, 13 millimeter size. Cram it into here and use this for leverage. It's awesome. Bruce, thank you. All right, for Mac, I changed my throwout bearing because I heard a rattle when my foot is off, and when I push it in, goes away. But the sound is back. What else could it be? For Mac Harper, did you use a lightweight flywheel? Single mass lightweight flywheel. If you're using a single mass lightweight flywheel, I will tell you your answer right now. Just answer that first, Mac. Okay. All right, so your answer to that one, Mac, is that you're using a lightweight flywheel, and we call that flywheel chatter. So on a stock flywheel, it's 21 pounds on a Mark IV, and they're dual mass. So there's a second flywheel technically inside that. And what that does is when the engine is spinning, that mass absorbs vibration for you. So you don't get this noise. On a single mass flywheel, especially a lightweight 14 pound is usually what most people get. The flywheel spins as one single mass. However, what happens is when you let go, the flywheel will vibrate slightly, and that's what we just call flywheel chatter. So you cannot stop it. That is just the nature of using a single mass flywheel. You live with it. That's it. Race car, buddy. Race car. Go back to a dual mass if you really want to stop it. Yeah, Johnny, I would love to have done it. I would love to have done it, but you know, money doesn't come very easy with me. you know, money makes all these projects work. I could have had my Mark II done, but I'm helping my friend out to get his engine back in, so I'm using them to use my engine. Yep, Gabriel. Yep, that's the noise. You're gonna get it. That's the nature of a single mass flywheel. Most people freak out when it happens, and like right when they get it, like, oh, I just replaced this, and now they got more noise than they had before. For Kevin, doing a twin turbo on what though? Oh, 1.8. You can't do a twin, but you can do a compound turbo. You can do one large and one small one, and then the small one will spool up the big one. The only downside of doing that is that why? There's no reason for it. It's cheaper to just slap in a bigger turbo. Make sure you just go a ball bearing, and it spools just as fast. And you'll be more fuel efficient, and you'll have actually more power, and you'll spend less money. All right, Mac. Have a good night. Johnny, bro, what are you doing to that 1.8T? For Johnny, no, it's for a friend. I'm gonna swap on an engine for him. So we're swapping motors out for him. For Gabriel, would I recommend going to a KO4 than sticking with the stock? That's a really good question, and I get that asked a lot. And it's a question you got to be very, very, I forgot what's the word. You have to think about what you're trying to do. And what I mean by what you're trying to do is, are you trying to make more power? Are you trying to are trying to make more power, or you just want to swap out your turbo because your turbo's going bad. If you're trying to make more power, yeah, it's fine. It's a good way. It's a good way to just have a good daily. Just get a basic KO4. Franken Turbo offers a really good one that's a bolt-on. Don't get the F21. I mean the F23. Get the F21 turbo, the turbo kit. It's a direct bolt-on to the stock manifold. You can use just slightly bigger injectors, and you'll make a good 240, 260 horsepower. Great for daily driving. Great for just a fun little car. I would recommend that a lot. I actually highly recommend those turbos. If you're not trying to break the bank pretty much and you just want to make some extra little fun power, yeah, they're great. Oh, dipstick broke almost in half. Super old. Clean that up. Yeah, 27 pounds of boost on a KO4 is way too much boost. You push that turbo to its limits. Usually 22 PSI is where the KO4 is pretty happy with. Even 26 PSI is a lot. I'm not a big fan of going more than that on those turbos. They don't like handling it. For Gabriel, yeah, I mean, when you do a smog delete on your car, it does a lot of things for you. It removes a lot of sensors, so it prevents you have less issues. However, doing a smog delete doesn't necessarily mean your car is legal. My car is not street legal. I still drive it, obviously, but yeah. What's up, Luis? What's up, buddy? For Johnny, I would do 262s for a daily VR for a cam VR. 268s have too much of a lope, and they don't work really well until you're really high in the RPMs. What do you mean, Bruce? For Gabriel, yeah, it affects everything for smogging it, Gabriel. Once you delete all that, it's not smoggable. You can't. For Bruce's thing, for your check engine light, you have to tune the engine because you're going to get secondary flow inefficient. That's why that light kicks on. But it doesn't affect the way the car runs. It's just obviously is an issue with your check engine light. So if you want that light to go away, you're going to need to get the engine tuned, or I mean your ECU tuned. And my recommendation is Boost Dynamic Tuning from Trent Smith. Awesome dude. Get your things tuned, and you'll make some extra power, and you'll get rid of all your check engine lights. Just saying. I will not give you prices, so don't ask for prices. You need to hit him up and talk to him. I am not a salesman. I just promote his stuff because he's an awesome guy, and he does really good work and offers really good customer service. You need more leverage with an Allen wrench. Put your socket on the end of an extension and just done. Yeah, for Bruce, you need to tune it. Sorry, man. No other way around it. Now, as a word of advice, when you guys are tearing apart an engine, and if you've never done it, baggies and a Sharpie is going to be your best friend. Just FYI. Uh, 200 with cams, intake. Yeah, you could probably make 200, Johnny. You could probably make 200. Depends on how the compression and everything's on your engine, you know, the life, how old that engine is, you know. For Luis Martinez, when you had that happen to you, for the engine turning on and off, usually what happens when you get that, on VRs, especially if it's a 12 valve, on the throttle body, right on the throttle body, there's a sensor called an idle air control valve. That sensor controls your idle pretty much and how it flows into the engine. It won't throw a code sometimes if it fails on you or it's failing. I would probably clean it out first and then, if not, swap it out. For Johnny, I mean, 100K. I mean, 100K doesn't mean anything. I don't know if you guys know, but if you put 100K on a mile on an engine, doesn't mean your engine can have 10,000 miles on it. If you're the original owner and you never beat the engine and drove the crap out of it, then I understand. But if you're not the original owner, which I highly doubt, you know, most people who got Mark IVs are second or third owners, who knows on how the maintenance was done on it originally. So just assuming, like I said, you might get 200 horsepower, and that's really pushing it on that engine. 12 valve VRs. I mean, I think the most I've ever seen someone push naturally aspirated is about 230, and that's with like an engine build, like high compression, and they did full. I mean, they did a lot of work to it, you know. So, I mean, 200, you can do it, but that's pretty much the max for that car, without doing actual like crazy mods to it. The airbag wiring is not in the engine bay. It's all in actually in under the dash. So I don't know how you got an airbag light for removing the head. There's no wiring that goes for that I know of. I would probably research and go online and do some research on that and see what you can find. Because I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't answer your question. How difficult is it? It's annoying, but not very difficult. You see the inlet pipe right here. When you follow it down, I'll give you for Quick Croon, whatever his name is. I'll give you guys a close up on that. Sorry for the jitteriness. You can see here, this is the turbo inlet pipe. Follow it down. You'll see there's this clip right here. It's hard to see because I have bad lighting. There you go. There's a clip here pull that out. This pulls out this part of the inlet pipe. You got to follow it down. Keep going, and you'll see there's a bolt right here. That's a 5. I think it's a 5mm or a 3mm. I can't remember. You need to unbolt that, and then it'll remove this metal portion of the inlet pipe. If you're going to go to full silicone, the one that goes all the way down, you're going to need to remove that. That exposes actually the turbo, the actual turbo inlet, and then you'll slide it over and put a clip on that. That's how easy, aka how hard or annoying that is. So hopefully that helps you. Be right back. I gotta go get a box cutter. On one. So this one, this vacuum line, we can cut because we're not going to be using it. Well, we are, but we're going to change it. There's that. This vacuum line we're also going to change. Hey, you're welcome, man. Hopefully that helps you out a bit. At least you have an idea on what to look for. And for Johnny, I mean, I know it's a second owner, but I don't care if that thing was maintained by Jesus himself. You don't know how that owner drove that car. So only assuming that if everything's good, yeah, you might make the power that you want with the cams, intake, tune, and a full exhaust. I would recommend a full actual headers too, not just a kickback or just an exhaust. Do headers and a full exhaust. That'll help you. It'll help the engine flow still a lot more. Not just a catback or something like that. For Gabriel, the only way that a cat can go bad is for two reasons. You're either running too rich or you're running too lean. That's it. That's the only way you can really kill a cat in a car. So O2 sensors failing, vacuum leaks will cause those problems on your engine. I mean on your cat. So if your cat fails, that's probably why. For Juan, you want to throw rods into a Mark IV? If you don't want to do like pistons or anything like that, which you don't need to do up to like 500 horsepower, just do integrated engineering drop-in rods. They're like $500. Super cheap, most reliable rods I've ever had, and they're good up to 700 horsepower, so you're good. Except for the pistons. Pistons can hold up to 5, the stock ones, which is not bad still. All right, now we're going to get a little screwdriver. Get that out of there. Integrated engineering, remember that. Should I replace any gaskets with it? All right, Bruce. Have a good night. For Juan, yeah, of course. You want to replace as many gaskets as you can. Anything that gets removed that has a gasket, you have to remove a gasket. You got to replace that. You can't reuse any of the gaskets on any car. So, for your question, yes, any gasket that's removed on the engine, you need to replace it with a new gasket. Thank you, Gabriel. Appreciate it. I think that's like automotive 101. You know, I mean, for me, I know a lot of you guys are still new to this, and I'm glad that you guys are willing to wrench on and everything. You're welcome, Juan. You're welcome. Welcome, Elio 93. Welcome to the party. You're not late. I'm going to be here for a while. Another vacuum line. Oh, there we go. All right, intake manifold is out. No, I would never twin turbo a 4-cylinder engine unless I have unlimited money. Then I'll just build the living crap out of the block, and yeah, I twin turbo the crud out of it. But you need a lot of money. You're better off just with a nice large turbo. Honestly, just a bigger turbo solves all your problems. You know, bigger turbo could actually solve world hunger probably. That sucks. All right. That's going to be a hard one to remove now. The tensioner looks shot. We'll get to that one in a little bit. Let's see. So next, this guy is keeping his car stock and smog legal. So this is going to be a pain because I'm trying to remove all this without damaging it. And it's probably the hardest thing I've ever done on a Mark IV. For Stan Frank, we like my transmission. I did a cryo hardened gears, and then I did a limited slip on it. Depending on what power you're trying to make and how you're driving the car, at least a limited slip. Limited slip will help you at least hold up to 300, 350 horses without damaging the tranny. Cryo hardened gears can make you hold up to 600 horsepower with no issues. So it all depends on what you're trying to do, but yes, I did upgrade my transmission. Some people don't. Some people don't race their car daily or a lot. So yeah. For Braden Lott, I mean, yeah, I mean, you have all the internal work, but you won't spool fast enough to run 2 turbos. It's 4 cylinders. I mean, you're trying to spool a turbo with 2 cylinders. It's not going to work. You don't create enough exhaust gases to spool it. So unless you're trying to like just break speed records and not caring how fast your acceleration is, then yeah, I would do it, but you won't have enough spool for anything else. You're better off just a big single turbo and going nuts. Go ball bearing, and then you get all the power you need. Ball bearing turbo will make you, depending on what you want, you can make 700, 800 horsepower with your bot mods. Cheap way to make 400. If you follow my build on my YouTube channel, we made 450 with the T3, T4 turbo, journal bearing, with this guy right here. We made 450 horsepower with this. This one failed because this was the turbo that was in the fire from the other car. So all the seals actually failed on it. If not, I'd still be rocking this turbo. It actually has no shaft play, which is pretty cool. It spins freely, really nice, but it's just the seals on it just took a dump. But yeah, this will make you 400 horsepower all day. You get this from SPA Turbo. US, they're a company from Brazil. They make very, very good turbos. If you're on a budget, and they're not made out of Chinesium, they're not made in China, they're actually made in Brazil. So you're getting quality products and quality parts. Yeah, I definitely know CTS turbo kits. Good stuff. CTS Turbos make some really good turbos. And the kits are awesome. I would buy one. For Daniel, for a short shifter, it's literally a 15-minute DIY, 15-second for Daniel. If you see, here's your shift tower and your transmission. All you need to do is buy the pendulum short shifter pendulum, which costs you like 75 bucks. It's one nut, like literally one bolt. You take off the little clips, put in the shifter, bolt it back in, and you're done. That's it. That's as easy as it gets for a short shifter. For Edgar Reyes, no, I don't own any VR6 cars, but after we're done with this Corrado, that's actually the next car we're building. We're building a VR6 Corrado, so that will be next year's project. All right, be right back. I gotta get more sockets. Let's see here. Stan Frank with T3-3450 trim. Well, my T3 T4 turbo is a 73 millimeter trim turbo, so it's a lot bigger than a 50 trim. It also has an AR90 exhaust side and an AR70 cold side, so it's almost twice the size of a 50 trim. So the turbo style is called a T3, T4, but there's so many versions of a T3, T4, or different flavors for how I like to explain things. They make T3, T4s up to that make 1,000 horsepower. You know, it just depending on the style that you're looking for and the power that you're trying to make. However, going bigger and bigger on a T3, T4, they spool a lot slower. So without investing in cams or going to an AEB head, you're going to have flow restrictions pretty much after 350, 370. The head pretty much starts choking. After that, you're probably better off going to an AEB head, and that will solve a lot of the restrictions on your airflow on the engine. Yeah, you're welcome. And right now I'm removing the combi valve setup, and I'm trying to remove it as one whole system. So when I put it back in the other car, I don't break it. I hate keeping cars legal. I think it's wrong. Makes me feel dirty. Edgar Ray. I'm actually from San Diego. Like, that's where I live. Born and raised though in LA. For Dub Invasion, wait, hold on. Let me. Do you know of any reasons for a bad MPG on 1.8T consistently getting 22-ish with highway driving? 22, you're probably vacuum leaks and O2 sensors. I would start there. That's probably for Dub Invasion. Were there Corrado videos? Corrado videos are for season 6, buddy. They're for next year. I've been building a lot of stuff for it. Yeah, vacuum leaks and O2 sensors is where all that's from. Yeah, I would also recommend definitely using VCDs if you know how to use it and know how to read it. Some people don't. So, one quick second, I'll show you what we're building really quick. I don't know if you saw my YouTube channel on my community page. This is the subframe that we're building. It came out beautiful. If you guys can see that, that's the Corrado subframe that I just built. Girling 60 dual piston caliper brakes, StopTech rotors and pads, S1 SolarWorks coilovers, fully painted, polyurethane control arms, polyurethane bushings on everything, upgraded motor mounts, manual steering rack, all Miley bushing, hardware. So pretty much brand new, all brand new pretty much. And that's what we're building. New wheel bearings, new ball joints, everything. This is going in the Corrado that we're building currently. So you guys can see that. She's beautiful. I love it. You know, I'm definitely taking my time on this build right here because I want to make sure whoever wins this car drives away with an awesome car. For Martin, no, that steering rack is strictly for Corrados and MK2s. You can't put it on a Mark IV. They don't match up. Believe me, I thought about the same thing too. I'm like, damn, that steering rack only costs $60. It's super cheap. I know, and it's actually an OEM rack. It's made by Miley, so Miley supplies Volkswagen with a lot of their main OEM parts. So yeah, that's really cheap. I know, right? I feel bad too that I'm not throwing it away. here. Okay. This one's being a fighter. There you are. So for you guys that are just tuning in right now, what am I doing with this engine? I'm actually tearing it down because my friend Steven seized the engine. I think it's seized. I'll find out when I get to that point. So what I'm doing for him is that I'm putting my Mark II in a halt with my engine, and I'm swapping everything over for him, for he can use my engine, and then I'll end up rebuilding this one. So my Mark II should be done sooner, but now I'm going to pause it because I want to help somebody in need. And that's what I'm about. You know, Pinchel's Garage is helping you guys in need, helping you guys build your cars and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, we're tearing it down because I got to swap everything over from this engine to another one. So that's what we're doing. You know, just got to help someone in need. That's all. All right. That's all removed. You just got to know what bolts to remove, and you have a lot less work. Yeah, I mean, turbo, injectors, tune, intakes, manifolds, fueling, bigger pump, definitely higher end axles. I would do Raxles for racing axles. Upgrade your suspension. I mean, there's a lot of things you need to do to make it safe to run that much power. Bigger brakes. You know, we did all that on my Mark IV, so I don't care. I could drive the crud out of it and not worry about what's wrong with the car. You know, and I drive my car every single day, so safety is a big, big thing for me. And I don't want to hurt anybody on the freeway. I don't want to hurt anybody on the road. So I got to make sure I'm safe before I drive my cars hard. All right, next is this over here. I got to get some sandwich bags, so I'll be right back. Got my sandwich bags. I get my Sharpie. All right, let's find out what we took off. So these three are for the SAI. This is for intake manifold. These are for the combi valve, intake manifold. So I will put these together. SAI intake man. That's the first. Those I can get later. No big deal. Okay. So next thing is going to be this whole assembly right here. The alternator, AC, power steering, and tensioner. So we're going to remove the tensioner first. That's the smarter thing to do. So yeah, my good friend Steven needs help, so I'm gonna help him swap out his motor for him. He's paying me, but not very much, you know. He wanted to pay, so I gave him a generic number, you know, for the cost of the motor and doing the work for him. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask. That's what I'm here for. That's working fine. You guys are just watching. That's what I'm here for you guys to learn and ask away. Okay, here we go. 99 Passat, I'm trying to figure out how to put an oil catch can. I believe the return line goes to the crankcase. Where does the inline go? For Valentine. All right. You got two lines. One that comes out of the side of the head on the right. On your engine, it comes on the back of the engine bay. You'll see there's like a Y pipe in the back. That's your PCV valve or PCV hose. You're going to need to run that underneath the intake manifold right here. There's a 90-degree elbow that goes back here as well. Those two have to be connected into a catch can. And then you have a return line. If you're trying to return it into the intake manifold, you have to use the hockey puck. There's a hockey puck right here on the back engine right here. You have to reroute it to that, and that will be your return line to the to your engine, which is what you're going to need to do to help it so you don't have the smell of oil vapors going in your car. It's not going to be very easy to do though. Those engines or those cars in general are a pain to work with because there's just there's like so much like no space. Which technically you have more space because the engine's longitudinal. I mean, longitudinal versus um, horizontal, but it's weird. It's harder to work on. I have a whole DIY on how to take apart that whole engine bay. Just so, not take apart, but clean up that whole engine bay and fix a lot of things. It's that big Audi one that I just did. Yeah, James, most people who own a Mark IV and then get rid of their Mark IV, they miss them a lot for some reason. Why? Because it's an awesome car. I'll grab my mallet. Be right back. Let's see here. For Oli Zungi, yes, I do have mine does have that. I can actually scan those and post them upline for you later. My Bentley does have that information. For Valentine, okay, I think. Yeah, it would be the same, Valentine. I hate pulling alternators out. Oh, there she drops. Alternator off. For 2001, yeah, I mean that's how you do it. It's not easy because it's similar to a normal Mark IV 1.8, but not 100% the same. I know it's kind of hard to understand, but it's weird. Do any of you guys play on video on PC? Any type of video games? Huh? You guys play Fortnite on PC? Anybody does? I'm thinking about starting to play Fortnite. I've never played it. I played it a little bit, but like never actually got into it. I want to see if I can find a group of friends that would be down to play with me. Ooh, this bad boy wants to fall. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta get some. I get some support over here. Yep. Let me get a piece of wood. Be right back, guys. There we go. Very nice, Oli. That would be legit. Yes, I will give you that information in a minute. Thank you, Valentine. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, I love working on cars, man. It's so much fun. It's a good way to stress relief. You know, forget about the world. It's just you in the garage and tools. And if I'm lucky, I get some friends that come over and help me out, you know. But most of the time, I'm by myself. You know, my wife, she gets busy, you know, gotta take care of the kid and whatnot. So, and I love touching and tinkering things, man. It's so much fun. You don't understand. It's just, and I love helping people. It's just, I don't know, man. The feeling you get when you help someone in need, it's unmeasurable. I can't compare to anything else. And if I'm able to help you guys, I'm just full of just love and I love it. Valentine, yeah, I feel you, buddy. I used to be the same way. Definitely feel that. I put that other socket. Oh, I'm missing a socket. Ay. Hate it when you just have a tool in your hand and now you lost it. Oh, never mind. It was actually there. But still, though, I hate that. Who's texting me? Who's messaging me tonight? Let's see here. So I got another friend that needs a clutch installed on his Jetta. You got a lot of thanks. I'm happy about this. Let's see here. I hate working on the street as well with my 1.8. Discovered how fun a thermostat can be. Oh man, Mark IV thermostat or Passat or Audi thermostat? Mark IV, headache. Audi Passat, not that bad. Which one did you have to do? Banging 3HZs. Oh God, a new Beetle? Yeah, have fun with that. Yeah, the Mark IV Jetta. Yeah, pain in the booty to do that. Oh my God, because you have to remove the alternator. If you didn't remove the alternator, you had to use like swivel bolts to get to this one nut right here, and it's, oh man, I feel sorry for you. So yeah, I definitely feel your pain, buddy. Been there and I done that. For Gustav, Sue, whatever. What do you mean knuckles? What knuckles are you talking about? What? It's just dirty. I've been touching this old engine all this entire time. And I'm really dark, so the 3D printer is doing really well. I'm just on the final phases of getting one of my boost gauges ready to be sold. I'm still working on temperature issue because the heater in our guys' cars are getting too hot, so it's melting the material. I'm trying to hunt down for a high temp PLA. I won't be able to do ABS for a while, so I'm going to start printing in PLA high temp, which I heard actually prints like basic PLA, but it has the characteristics of ABS, which is a godsend if that's the case, because PLA is so easy to print with. So I'm hoping for that to be accurate. If it is, then I'm going to be so happy. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the ACC bracket. Motor's almost torn apart up in front. Pay attention. Now, I've done probably 100 of these engines, and I still put everything in baggies. I know where most of this stuff goes. It's just, just in case. Ah, I see what failed. This tensioner failed. I'm going to give you guys a close-up on actually what failed on this car. Check this out, guys. Here's a close-up. This is the hydraulic chain tensioner for the cams. And you'll notice here, here's the chain. Pay attention to this spot right here, okay? This is supposed to be under tension its entire time. So I'm going to turn it counterclockwise. And look what happens. You see the tensioner just went down like nothing. And now I'm going to crank a little bit more. You see it? And now I can't turn it anymore. This is not supposed to have much slop at all. This is supposed to move like a millimeter, if that. Stan Frank, no, it does not. It actually is under tension when it's actually when you actually put one of these in. I've tested multiple times when I've done mine. These have actually a spring inside of them. The oil pressure is actually to retain the tension and drop the tension when you're actually driving. This actually has that's why when you install these, you have to install them with a special tool that compresses them. Because if not, you won't be able to install the chain. Hey, Ben, did you fix it? Cool. So yeah, it's not supposed to move that much. You're looking at about a millimeter or two. This thing is actually compressing all the way down and all the way up without putting any effort into it. And then it's just, yeah, that's way too much. Way too much slop here. So what I think is happening is because of the slop, it probably jumped a tooth or two on here, because I can push that down by hand, and you shouldn't be able to do that. And if you saw that, I just pushed it all the way back down with my hands. So yeah, that's no good. Yeah, not good at all. Yeah, you should have some more tension than that. That's crazy though. So now this car has over 100,000 miles on it, and this has never been replaced. This part you're supposed to replace every 100K, maybe a little bit more. Less. I replaced mine every 80,000 miles. I know it's a little overkill, but it's really easy to do. And it's just for precautions. I mean, this should not have, I mean, there's good tension on here, but when this loses its compression, it looks like it probably skipped a tooth. That totally blows. Yeah, because I can't even crank the engine over anymore. It actually legitimately just hits the piston, and I can already feel it hitting the piston. So I wonder how much actual damage actually is done with the to the engine now, because he tried cranking it multiple times when this happened. So I'm wondering what actually is wrong with the engine now, or how much damage has been done to it. The good thing though is that if it didn't damage the pistons, I can reuse the pistons for my new build, which I'll be happy with. And we are going to rebuild the head with higher end valves. But there you go, guys. A quick lesson right there. Really cool. Actually, was a little bit exciting. Actually, I was pretty happy with that. Sucks for the for my friend, but I was excited to discover this. And just so you guys know, that's a very rare failure. Usually what happens is that your chain starts to slop first, making like a loud slapping metal noise. That's how you know the tensioner itself is failing. This guy's it just failed. It looks like probably just some seal probably just failed on it immediately and just went kaput. Everything else spins freely. So that's all done on this side. I got to pull a hard pipe here. Pull this out. You guys have any other questions, feel free to ask me while I'm here. Hopefully the cams didn't get damaged, because I don't want to buy new cams for this motor. I might do new lifters. The idle air, if you go on the actual where the throttle body is, it's attached to the side of it. It's like two bolts, I think, or one bolt. Not very much that holds it there. Yeah, we're gonna have to replace all of this because more than likely this is original. All right, man. Good job that you have a Bentley manual. Very good job. Proud of you, man. Proud. That is a smart mechanic right there. You don't understand how much I dislike the fact that people don't listen and be like, dude, get a Bentley manual. I had one guy argue with me when I did my you guys remember the video I just did for the Beetle with the 6-speed manual transmission? We did a clutch upgrade on it. If you guys go on that video, that DIY, and there's a guy on there who straight out told me that I messed up his car because he failed to listen when I told him that the clutch, the flywheel, bolts on to 44 foot-pounds, and then you do a 90-degree turn. Or some people like to call it quarter turn. He decides to try to like blame me that I broke his car because he thought it was safe to run it only at 44 foot-pounds. He said that's more than tight enough. And I'm all like, he's all, where, he was trying to like say, where is this, and where did you get this information? Because he thinks I was lying to him. And I go, okay. I took a picture of the Bentley manual where it states 44 foot-pounds and a 90-degree turn or a quarter turn. And I explained to him, he's all, you have a really, really high risk of that flywheel falling off inside your transmission and you can cause some problems. He didn't believe me. He thought that I was lying to him and everything. I'm all like, I gained nothing to lying to you, number one. You know, I'm only here to help. And you're trying to go around, and he's just trying to, we went in a circle of him just complaining and complaining. And I told him, I'm sorry, I wish you luck. And that was the end of the conversation. I really recommend you guys look up that video and look at the comments. Hilarious. He did not want to listen. Sometimes there's no helping some people, and they just don't want to listen. Exactly. Bentley manual or bus, man. You own a Mark IV. Go find another glove box. The plastic pretty much just got too brittle and failed on you. Pretty normal. Just a Mark IV. Old plastic. I don't even use my glove box for that reason. I have my insurance in there, and I make a copy of my insurance, and I put it underneath my seat, because I just don't want to open my glove box, because I just don't want to go through that. I don't want it breaking on me. Yeah, it's 100% normal. Don't be alarmed. Don't be surprised. It's a Mark IV. It's a 20-year-old car. Yeah, it is a phenomenal car. I love my Mark IV. I would not trade my Mark IV for anything in the world unless it's another Mark IV. All right, this backside will have to wait until after. Yeah, I can definitely do it. Yeah, the 2.0T engine is a phenomenal engine for the amount of power it can create. It just has way too many problems. No, I wouldn't. I would not drive a Mark I. I love them. They're gorgeous, freaking awesome little go-kart. But I live and breathe and poop Mark IVs. It's like my favorite car. It's so easy to work on, so easy to find parts. It's just everything's just so much easier on it. And I can't argue that. And I make a ton of power for really, very little money. Yep. Paul Vega, caddy with a 1.8T, yeah. I've had a total of 4 Mark IVs. The first one I crashed. The second one my wife crashed. The third one caught on fire, and now we have Filbert. So you want to talk about who loves Mark IVs? I love Mark IVs. And every time I lost one, I just loved them even more. I don't know how to explain it. My love for them just grew and grew. And now I'm just addicted to Mark IVs. It's just, that's all that matters to me is the Mark IV. You know, I have a Mark II. I got a 71 VW bus, and I got a Passat, but Mark IV all day. Okay, I need to get this out of here. So this has a 10. You know, people call me crazy. I don't care. I really don't. Everybody has their favorite car. That's my favorite car. If you like another car, oh well, that's your choice. Not my problem. Yeah, I feel you too, buddy. I'd love to get a B3. Those things are gorgeous. But talk about a diamond in the rough. Most people who've owned one of those got rid of them quick because they were just such a bad car. You know, but I would love a B3 and or a B3 with a VR, or yeah. You know, yeah, I feel you too. I love the 2.7T, phenomenal engine, but no, I wouldn't buy one. All right, be right back. I need to go get some. Actually, no, I don't think so. Exactly. Good combination. That came out. There you go. Let's see here. So pull out these knock sensors. Yeah, because you have the two chains, and then the middle. Yeah, you have to time the cams first, and then you can time the middle. It's crazy. Thank you, Luis. Yeah, my Patreon is on there. If you guys like to help support the channel, you know, I don't get a lot from it, but I'm gonna start pushing Patreon more. If you guys want more to come, my goal, in all honesty, is to make about 1,000 a month on Patreon, and make more through sponsors on YouTube. If I can make anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 a month doing this, I will go part-time at my other job and do this full-time with you guys and just do so much more. And I will do everything that everybody else won't do, is actually teach you. That's the thing. I will teach you how to do this. Every other company out there, everybody YouTube channel that does DIYs doesn't do a DIY. They do montage DIY. Not a fan. Not a fan. I want you guys to learn. I want you guys to do this with me. I want you guys to be like, look, I built a freaking race car in my garage. Look, Ma. Race car. You know, that's just me, though. One day, I'm in no rush. I'm having fun either way. Even if I don't make the money, who cares? Money doesn't mean anything. It does help make projects and do DIYs, you know, don't get me wrong. But money isn't everything, guys. Being happy is everything to me. My wife is happy. I'm happy. Happy wife, happy life. I think you're right, Paul. I think the 2.7T is belts, but I could be wrong. I can't remember the last time I actually touched one of those because I don't want to touch one. I think the V8s are the chains. Yeah, that's kind of normal. That PCV is right here in the bottom on the 1.8s always fail. Made out of plastic, I mean, and you're running heat through it all day and cooling down, heat and cool, it's going to get brittle. It's kind of the norm. All right, this is where it's going to make a mess. I don't know how much of a mess, but it's going to make one right here. This right here, coolant hard pipe from the front of the engine. I'm hoping that most of the coolant left this car engine already. Come on. There we go. All right. Well, that's pretty torn down already. All that's left now is just a turbo. Oil lines, we keep it all together as one piece with the turbo and the coolant line. I'm going to drop the tranny. God, it's an ancient O-ring. Look at this thing. It doesn't have no elasticity anymore. It's not even like rubbery. I think it's probably been in there for years. Look at this thing. Big old floppy cock ring. Greetings, sir, from Germany. Yes, I will let this recording go into so you guys can enjoy it. I always leave my recordings on YouTube. I try to share it with everybody, enjoy my conversations with everyone. You know, this is just great. I'm glad that people from Germany, everybody that's logged on right now, post where you're from. I want to know where you guys are from. Go for it. Mingsberg is from Germany. What about you guys? Come on, Paul. Come on, everybody. Post where you're from. Represent. Al here from San Diego, California. Paul from New Jersey. What's up, boy? Come on, guys. You guys are there. You guys, there's 10 of you. Post up. Let's see where you're from. Be proud. Stan Frank, Pennsylvania. What's up? Hershey. Oh, man. Dub and Vision from New York. What up, fool? New Yorkers. You guys are awesome. Where you guys from? Who else? Where else? Where else are you guys from? San Francisco, Luis. What's up? Virginia. The banging. Awesome. See? This is what I love about my channel. Variety. People are not from just one state, not from one part of the world. They're from everywhere. And this is what makes automotive so awesome. Because people under one thing, like if you guys all have the same likes, no one cares from where you're from. You just enjoy what we like to do. Awesome, guys. Keep posting them. That's not all 11 of you guys, or 12. Where else are you guys from? Who else? Huh? Post it up. Paul Vega. Oh, man. Wouldn't you like to know? I'll give you one. Oh, Edward, Oregon. Portland, Oregon. For Paul Vega, what do you think I am? What do you think my nationality is? I'll give you 3 choices. American Indian, Mexican, or Middle Eastern. Don't worry, it won't offend me. If you think I'm from India, you might be right, but I don't know. I gotta see what you guess, my friend. Where do you people think I'm from? What do you think I'm from? What do you think I am? Stan Frank from Russia? Damn. Where do you guys think I'm from? Don't be afraid. It's hard to offend me. Paul Vega, you are correct. I am Hispanic. I am a full-on beaner, to be exact. So, that's awesome, man. You're Dominican? That's super cool. And Ecuadorian. Wow. Technically, I am American Indian and Mexican Hispanic because my family goes all the way back to where Mexico was California. So I have a lot of heritage in that area, aspects of my family. So I'm doing a DNA test to actually confirm where I'm actually from. Spanish and German. That's awesome, Doug. I wonder where my friend Mikhail is at. He's from Sweden. Yeah, the Swedish. Thoughts on Burble tunes? Never even heard of a Burble tune, so I don't have any thoughts on it. Sorry, can't tell you. It's a possibility. Because me so Asian. Yeah, when you have an older car and you want to tune it, that is a big concern. A lot of these guys who buy an older Mark IV, high mileage, first thing they do is just slap a tune on it, and then they complain because their engine's done. Then they wonder why their engine's done. It's like, dude, you bought a car with an old engine and you drove the crap out of it. What do you expect? And that's any car. Wow, that's not bad. 216 is not bad at all. It's a good mileage. That you slam it, you slam the car and just enjoy it and leave it alone. You don't need to do anything to something like that. Just enjoy it. Buy another motor and then build it and then swap it. And then drive the crap out of it. Yeah, you wouldn't do that. But knowing 90% of MK4 kids won't know any better. They do that anyways. What short shifter would you suggest? A really good short shifter is from the Audi TT. They use just actually the pendulum from the Audi TT. It has a 15% shorter throw. You can also just get I love the New Speed MK4 5-speed short shifter. It is phenomenal. It has a 30% shorter throw. And what I did is I did that, and then I cut the shaft on the actual shifter. On the shifter, actually, I cut it about 1.5 inches. Perfect. Paul Vega, Diesel Geek, makes a phenomenal short shifter. I love that thing. Awesome short shifter. However, it takes a while to get it dialed in right. If you want legitimately just a drop-in short shifter, New Speed, and cut your shaft, you'll be super happy. Really, really nice short shift, and that's it. Yep, aluminum bushings make a huge difference. You feel the slap. Just gah, gah, gah. I love it. Let's see here. Transmission's almost off. Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Steady there, buddy. This guy's not coming off. Whew. For that, Duncan, I agree. I recommend. There you go, Synchro Mesh. Go to either Redline. Redline's phenomenal, really, really good fluid. Synchro Mesh is another really good fluid. That helps a lot. Yeah, that I love Redline. If you guys can get a hold of it in your area, Redline gear oil is really good. Or if all else fails, like Stan Frank says, OEM. Can never go wrong with what the manufacturer puts in it. Hey, Luis, if you want my phone number, it's 760-637-7619. Feel free to call me whenever you guys want to say hi, or if you need help with anything, I'm definitely able to help you guys. This thing keeps wanting to fall. You're welcome to the Luis. Just give me a call, and anybody else heard my phone number, hit me up. I ain't afraid to put my number out there. I'm always, if you guys just want a person to talk to, hit me up, man. If I don't answer my phone, just send me a text, and I can talk to you later. You know, I do work a lot, so don't be mad if I don't answer your call or anything like that. It's probably because I'm working. Or just catch me on live streams. Yeah, Duncan, research. Nowadays, everybody wants an answer from Facebook. That's where you get your research if you want research. Nowadays, everybody's all like, dude, how do I fix this? You know what we used to do? We used to be like, go to VW Vortex. Find your answers there. You know why? Because you end up reading and reading and reading, and then you end up being like, wow, I know how to build an engine. A lot of my knowledge, guys, is from VW Vortex. Yep. Vortex is the spot if you're looking for proper information. Especially to you don't understand, Vortex has been around for I think since like Mark II's. Yep. Yeah, after that big debacle with what is it, a photo bucket, it's been a huge turd. Yeah, tons of YouTubers. Yeah, a lot of people use YouTube now. But YouTube is not a very good tool if your YouTuber sucks. Simple as that. Good thing I don't suck. Or I suck a little bit, but not that much. Let's see here. You want to see the Rado subframe again? Paul Vega, I'll show you it. Hold on. She's pretty. Not done yet, so, but it's almost done. Here you go. Came out really good. I'm pretty proud of myself. I still got to clean the bolts. I still got to clean a couple brackets, but that's pretty much it. We're going to wire brush all the hubs so they look nice. We'll probably just end up painting them so they just look clean and everything looks. We're going to paint the spindles last. And that's it, though. Everything else is done. She came out great. G6 Girling 60 dual piston calipers. StopTech rotors, StopTech pads, energy suspension, SolarWorks S1 coils. All nice. Me gusta. Es muy bueno. Yeah, I want to do some stuff to it, but I don't know where I am with more dress up on this. I'm probably just going to polish the bolts and then clear coat them. And then that way they just look really nice and shiny, and that's it. I'm not there yet. I'll see what I get to when I get to that point. All right, be right back. I got to go grab a wrench. My first wrench of the night. Yeah. Yeah, I like SolarWorks because they like Bang-In 3HD. They feel great. You know, SolarWorks aren't meant to go super low. They're actually supposed to be like you're supposed to ride at a decent height. You know, maybe a finger or two gap. You know, not too much finger gap, but like I say, one finger gap, and they ride great. They ride like a stock car, but at a low height. It's amazing for how little you pay for them, how well they perform. I don't even know how to explain it, but I love them. My buddy has them on a Mark 6. I put them on a couple Mark 4s. Every single person that I've done it with has been very, very satisfied. Right. That bolt's gonna be. Yeah, there's a lot of things better than Raceland. Like, don't buy Raceland. However, their air suspension is on point. I'll give you that. That's what I rock, and I love it. H&R coilovers are amazing, but they're not cheap. Those are German-made performance coilovers. My second Mark IV had an awesome ultra-low set. Great stuff. FK coils are good when you spend more than $600. Their basic line, which is called their street line, I don't recommend them at all. I had them on my wagon, not even a year, and then they blew out. And I wasn't even that low, which was really irritating. Because I wanted to go low. Crazy how much lighter these engines are once you take off all the accessories. It just turned 10 o'clock over here in San Diego. Paul Vega, I'm actually a Geek Squad agent. I repair computers for a living. I work for Best Buy. I've been working for Best Buy now for 9 years. And I'll tell you one thing, I love my job. Not many people can tell you that, especially if they work in a retail environment. But I love my job at Best Buy. Awesome. Awesome job. I'm a big computer nerd, man. So if you guys play Fortnite or video games or anything in general, hit me up. I'm on Steam. Oh man, I get some fun ones sometimes. You want to know how to get a bad back, guys? This is how you get a bad back. For Ian, yeah, I pay a shop to do the valves and then do all the machining. Just because it's just I don't have the tools. I don't have the tools to pull the valves out and the stems and all that. If not, I would do it. Believe me, I would. But no tools, and then the time is a big issue too. Ay, ay, ay. This is not going my way right now. Where's Ray when you need him? He's probably watching. Yeah, that's what we did with our Corrado. We pulled I pulled the G60. It was a G60 Corrado, and we're going to a 1.18 now. Reliable, cheap parts, and tons of power. G60s are cool, but parts are not easy to find. And then when you do find parts, they're garbage. Can't find quality stuff. Yep, 1.18, never lose. Ay, ay, ay. Give me a minute, guys. I gotta. Oh yeah, I'd believe that. Come on. Ay, ay, ay. Having bad luck right now. I just need to move it like an inch forward, and it's not letting me do that. Right here. Ugh. Get some SolarWorks, man. We just went over this. I recommend SolarWorks coilovers. Do not buy Racelands, especially if you have shitty roads. Don't buy Racelands. You will regret life and then some. SolarWorks is a great thing, and just wait for them to go on sale. You get them for a good price if they go on sale. All right. One more try. Not having luck. I just need to put this piece of wood right here. I can access the stupid one bolt, and I can then I can actually drop the tranny. Not being very friendly. Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you, Paul. I'll do that right now. There you go. Ooh, it's scary. Scary and stable. You're awesome, Paul. You got it. Got it out. Whew. Okay, Ian. Yes, it is, but I don't have space for it right now. And yeah, the other guy's right. You can't put it on the stand without putting it on the. Yeah. Yeah, I have a cherry picker. I have an engine stand. I don't have a space. So you work with what you got, you know? That's a good question, though. Yeah, I'm going to strap it once I actually have the transmission off. Because I still need to be able to move it around. Because I need the engine, the transmission is now stuck to the actual roller. So that's pretty much all that's left is just to get that one little lip off of there, and that's it. The engine, the transmission's ready to come off. But yeah, believe me, I have cherry pickers and whatnot, but I want to grab a jack, but I have too much stuff in the way now. I have way more stuff in the way. So I'm not going to worry about that, and it's almost time for me to log off. So I just want to yank this sucker off, and then I'm done for the night. And yes, grab a beer. Definitely grab a beer and then taking a nice hot shower. You know what? Before I do that, I'm going to grab a beer right now. Be right back. No, going to a new tune was not a bad idea. Just don't mash it all the time. You'll be fine. Can't show the logo, so well, it's on both sides. It's Japanese beer. Good stuff. Pretty much malt liquor in a can. Really good stuff. All right, break over. Here she comes. Now, keep it from falling onto the ground. You stubborn little bastard. It's like halfway off, but it won't come off. I don't want to fall to the ground. understand, Frank? You got to understand where a lot of these people come from. Yeah, these engines are a dime a dozen, but most people don't have a dime. So think about that, you know? Most people don't have the money to do this. Most people don't have the money to even do it. I mean, most people, like me, it took me 3 years to save up money to build my car. And then it caught on fire. 3 years. So when people say, oh, they're a dime a dozen, yeah, it's probably a dime a dozen to people who only that have, you know, the dime. Most people don't have that dime to do it, man. So, you know, they want to do what they can and afford what they can do. So when people say, oh, you just send it, send it. Well, how about you send your car and let me drive mine the way I drive it? You know? My Mark IV makes 450 horsepower and I drive 65 miles an hour on the freeway. You know? To each their own. You know, but when I want to open her up, I can open it up and not worry about it. You know? Paul Vega, no, I have not been to H2O. You have no idea how much I want to go. I want to go really bad. Paul, don't worry, dude. I want to go. I'm actually going to Eurocracy in Montreal, Canada, next year. I'm making an appearance there. So exactly, Luis. Saving one Mark IV at a time. There she comes. Come on. God, this clutch is such a tight fit. Wide body, I actually want to go wide body on my car. Like a real wide body, not fender flares. One day, when I have money, maybe when I become YouTube famous, I'll do it. There she's off. Beat you. Woo. Oh man, that's satisfying. That's so satisfying right there. All right, let's put this back, boy. All right. Oh yeah. And that, everybody, is how you tear down a 1.8 T. What? Woo! That took what, 2 hours and 30 minutes? Not bad. I could have gone faster if I wasn't talking to you guys. But what fun would that be, right? It's not gonna be fun if I don't have a little bit of chit chat. You know, multitasking, buddies, multitasking. All right. So we're gonna do next is banging a W12 and a Mark IV. Have fun with that. That thing won't even fit unless you dump it in the trunk. Then you can fit a Ferrari engine. Yeah. All we got left now is just, yeah, 3.6 barely fits in the Mark IV. So now what we got to do next in this part of the project is removing the rear here. We got to drain the oil, so I got to put this engine on a stand, take the flywheel and everything off, and then put the engine on the stand. Get rid of this, drain the oil, and then push this out of the way. Yes, there is an LS that you can use that's actually meant for front-wheel drive cars. So yeah, you can do that. It's not hard. But I mean, why do that when you could just do a 1.8 T swap, 1.8 with a big turbo, proper internals, and make 500 wheel all day reliably? Just work on the transmission. Yeah, I've seen that one already. The LS swap Civic wasn't hard because it was from an from what car it was. I think it was like one of the front wheel drive Impalas. Well, yeah, he'd blow it. Pelican or Quaife? I'd go with Quaife. Much better. So, you gotta drain the oil, banjo bolt, and bolts here, and then this all comes off. We have to reverse the process when we do this build. When we do it, so this has to go on first, then the smog equipment around it. No, coolant lines, smog equipment, and then everything else. We're going to be for the DIY, well, not DIY, but the next process on swapping the engines. We're going to be doing all the seals, front and rear main seals, cam seals, timing kit. We might end up swapping the tensioner on the cams too. Don't know yet. I mean, the one that's on my engine is actually really good, so I'm not worried about that. Turbo, we're going to try not to take off, separate the turbo from the manifold, just the manifold. I'm hoping I can get around that, but I don't think you can on this. I think there's two bolts that you can't reach without removing it. Paul Vega, what year is the limit for smog? 1974 is the limit. For exemption, I'm talking about for smog exempt vehicles, it's 1974. So anything before that can be smog exempt. I don't know. Every state is different. However, in general, for vehicles to be smog exempt, yeah. But it goes state to state, so it changes for every car. Here in California, 1974. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in and being part of this awesome teardown. We're not done with it, but I'm glad that you guys were able to join in. I'm glad that you guys can be a part of what I do and enjoy what I like doing. If you support and want to support me even more, become a Patreon. No, it's 90s, 96, I believe, or 99. I forgot what it is for diesels. They changed it. If you guys want to support what I do and enjoy, hit up my Patreon. Go to patreon.com, look up Pinche Garage, and it helps me help you guys out. My goal is to have more and more DIYs that are unique, informative, and become a learning experience with you guys. And I'm glad that you guys were able to join in with me and have a great experience and have fun, obviously. I will, Luis. I'll hit you up later on that. I'm tired. I gotta be up at 5 in the morning, so I gotta go shower and get to work. But I'll hit you up later tomorrow. But be a part of it. If you don't want to be a part of Patreon, don't worry about it. I'm not worried about any of that. It's just an extra funds and all that. Another thing is hit up my YouTube, my Facebook, which is Pinche Al's Garage. Like, be a part of the group. I have another page called Pinche Al's Community. Be a part of that. I post things there. I post everything that goes on in the community, and I want to see what other people like to do. Paul Vega, the next live event will be around the same time, around 8 p.m. Pacific time. I don't know what day. I might actually come. Probably going to go tomorrow evening, because I got to get this going for my friend Steve in about a week or two. So yeah, I'm probably going to be investing some time every night. So, but again, be a part of the community. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on anything. I'm everywhere, and I'm always here to help. All right, guys, help each other, help yourself, be part of the community, be a part of everything. Because if we're not helping each other, then we live in a horrible world, you know. And I don't like that, and that's why I'm helping my friend Steve. So be a part of it. Don't be afraid. Race is nothing. You know, politics is garbage. I'm all against all this stuff. I just love cars, and I love people, and I love people who do the same stuff with me. So you guys have a good one. Peace out. And as always, we're going to break, fix, and repeat.